Hi, this is David. In the last video, I showed you how to do logging from a Java Spring Boot application. And in this video, I'm going to extend that logging to actually log to Azure Application Insights, which is a logging and instrumentation tool that's built into Azure. We're going to use the same demo, the same Spring Boot application that's called an MVC program, and we're just to extend the logging that's in there. Now, the first thing I need to do is I need to go to Azure, and I can go to azure.com, and if I don't have an account, you can click on here to get a free account, but I do have one, and I'm already signed in, so I'll click on Portal, and open up the portal, and I will create a resource, and I can just search for Application Insights right here, and create a brand new Application Insights. I'll put it into a resource group. I'll call it GCast RG. Okay, and I'll give it a name. I'll call it GCast App Insights. It doesn't really matter where I put it. I probably want it close to wherever my application is deployed, but this is the default West US is fine. Review and create. And it takes a minute to create this. And once I do this, this is just a place where I can have logs sent, have instrumentation for my applications sent. It doesn't have to be an application hosted in Azure. Oops, I have to click create here. Just did some validation there. It doesn't have to be an application hosted in Azure. In fact, when I demo this, I'll just simply run it locally. But I'll wire it up so that logging data is pushed to Application Insights. So while this is being created, I want to show you how to configure your application. So I'll go back to my Spring Boot application, and the first thing I want to do is go into the pom.xml file and add a dependency. I want to add a couple dependencies actually. Here they are right here. I'll copy and paste those underneath the dependency section, and you can see right here there's one for Application Insights -spring-boot -starter, and that's in the com.microsoft.azure namespace. I specify the current version. You can IntelliSense will help you with that. And the other one is Application Insights -logging -logback, because I'm going to be using logback for doing this. And that's also in the same group ID right there, and it's the 2.0 point something is the version number here. Now to get this, you may need to refresh. I'm using Maven here, and you might have to come in here and refresh that so that these things work, and that you might get a clue to that as they show up as red or have squiggly lines under them, letting them know. At least that happens in IntelliJ, which is the IDE that I'm using right here. So right there. The next thing I want to do is I want to go into the log back. I see my application insights has been created here. Let me just go to it. Right. Go to my resource right here, and there it is. And the key piece of information I want is this instrumentation key right here. That's a GUID that uniquely identifies that. You want to keep that secret. Now I'm letting you guys see it because I'm going to delete this as soon as it's done. But as a general rule, don't let other people see that. We're going to come back to that. Next thing I want to do is I want to add to the logback-spring.xml. And if you watched the last video, we saw this thing here. We added something to do console logging right here. And I want to add under this, and here's the stuff to tell it how to do console logging. What I want to do is add another appender here. Call it appender-ref equals AI appender. Make sure I get the right number of quotes around that. And that's it right here. And then this, I can really name that whatever I want, but the important thing is I want to add that appender information up here and tell it what is an AI appender and how is it configured. Well, I'll do that with this bit of code right here. I'll add a section for an appender named AI appender, and I'll tell it to use this class right here. And you'd get some kind of a red error message here if you didn't add things to the POM XML to let them know that it's there, because that's where that dependency comes from. Now the other thing I need to do is I need to go into my application properties here, and I need to set this Application Insights ID, and I can find that right here, the instrumentation key, and copy that to my clipboard. And then open up this property right here equals, let me grab that one more time, that key right here. And now I have it. Let me save all these changes that I've made, and then I'll run the application. So if I run this application, remember this is an MVC application built on Java Spring Boot, I can just run this main class right here. Apparently I was running it already, and come down here, and I have a little output that says GCast rocks, so I know when it's done running. Alright, and then I want to hit this application, and of course, if you watched the last video, you know that to hit it. In the controller, I've got a few methods in here. One of them is a get mapping to greet / some person's name, and it'll start off with actually GCast. So if I hit that with http /localhost /gcast /greet /David, then it'll print out hello David right here, but it'll also do some logging here. And I can't remember exactly where I'm logging at, what level I'm logging at, but if I go over to my Log Back-Spring here, you could say anything above warning. So I should only get the warning and the error. Warning, Dr. Smith call the person's name, and then an error with person name is exceptional. So let's go ahead and do that. And I can hit it with a get, so I can just come in here and say GCast /greet /Satya, and there I get the output right there, hello Satya, but I also get some logging right here. So there's my warning, Dr. Smith call Satya, and Satya is exceptional. The warning and the error are both logged. They're logged to the console, but I also told it not only to log to the console, but also log to the AI appender. And the thing about this is, it isn't instantaneous. It actually takes a while. It's all done asynchronously, and that's how it scales so well, is if you have millions of users hitting this and lots of logs being generated, it's not going to overwhelm Azure. It'll all happen asynchronously. And because of that, if I go into Application Insights now, I won't see this right away. And I can see it down here. Go to Logs. Here, there's some example queries here, but I know this is going to show up in traces right there. So I double click on that, just say show me all the traces. Well, there's nothing here yet, so I'm going to pause the video right now, and I'll come back in a few minutes, and that should give it time to actually push all those log messages here into Application Insights. And as promised, it's just a few minutes later, and I run this again, you see that now those two log messages appear here in the Application Insight log. And you can see a lot of information, including what I just logged. Warning, Dr. Smith calls Satya. Satya is exceptional. The severity level says this is a warning, this is an error. I've got the date timestamp. In fact, if I expand these, you can see all sorts of information about the programs are running and what kind of browser was it running under, all sorts of information here. And this query, it's not just traces, there's a whole query language here, such as that the IntelliSense helps me out with. I can do where to filter them. I can do order by date, time, actually not date, time, a field, time, stamp, descending or ascending, things like that. How to handle nulls in my ordering, etc. and drill down into this. All sorts of things. Maybe that'll be a good topic for a future video. But today, I've shown you how to take your logging and extend it to push that information that you're logging into Application Insights, so then you can analyze it in Azure. This is David. Thank you for watching.